Welcome to the Help Her Be Brave podcast show, where you get great ideas on how you can help save lives. I'm Amy Ford.
And I'm Jessica Russo.
And we are so pumped about this next guest that we have today. His name's Peter Vescovi, and I met him through actually one of the single moms that we help and mentor. And I can't remember why, but she connected me to Qara Foundation that he runs. And he was also at the time a pastor on the side, but now I think he just does Qara full time, and him and his family are so
They're
sweet.
precious.
Right. And then they've helped just teach some financial courses for single moms. And you got to hear some of that, right?
Yeah, I got to sit in on one that he did for leaders and Embrace Grace moms, and I was so blown away. I was like, I know nothing about how to build my credit. I hope my husband is doing all of this stuff. But it was such great information.
Yeah. And it's just stuff like single moms, a lot of them were raised by single moms themselves.
Yeah.
And maybe they just, maybe their mom, or maybe if they did have a mom and a dad, no one taught them on, and even me, my parents never taught me on how to be a good steward of the finances.
Or families are just like in survival mode. They don't have the luxury of, or they think they don't have the luxury of being concerned about credits.
Yeah. Or thinking there's no way they can save, but there are different unique ways that they can save, or knowing if it's better to rent or own, or if it's or what to work towards on that, or even cars, and what is a terrible interest rate and what is a good interest rate, and how to get your credit score up. Like all of these things that we just kind of take for granted that single moms, like a lot of them just don't really know. Yeah. And so I've seen so many moms get upside down in their car payment, and it's like totally broke like the second they got it, because they got a terrible one. And then they owe a ton of money, and most of it's interest.
Or they have a tote the note and they're late, so it gets towed, and so then they're paying for a car that they don't have, but they need a car. Like, how do you get out of that?
It's really hard, and it's a cycle, and it takes some purposeful effort. So I'm so excited. Peter, are you there?
Hey, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. We're so excited that you're here with us, because I feel like you have such a unique passion to help single moms, and using your specific strengths and gifts the way you're doing it is really, really cool. And I know that our Embrace Grace moms have benefited from it as well. Tell us a little bit about why you're passionate about helping single moms and stewarding their finances.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's an honor to talk with you both. For me, my journey with supporting single moms started with, I think for a lot of people, just having a burden for the unborn, I've always had a burden for the unborn, but was unsure how to help and how to get involved. And at first, that burden was really, it was anger, right? So I was angry about abortion. I was angry for the unborn, I believe. And that's sort of how, this passion kind of got its start. I don't think anger is a bad thing when it's rightly channeled, right? But over the years, really the anger sort of had a transition into more of a compassion for single moms, and for women who feel trapped or feel they've been abandoned or out of options when it comes to taking care of their little ones. Or, a pregnant mom who, is like, how am I going to do this on my own? I have no help. And so I really had a kind of a personal transition from, anger to compassion. And I know no one knows this better than you two, is that there's a difference between, pro-birth and pro-life. And so I think initially I was pro-birth, and became pro-life. And then, of course, Embrace Grace takes it a step further, and it's not good enough really to be pro-life. We need to be pro-love, which you guys just do an amazing job of pioneering that movement. And so, over the years, that compassion kind of escalated, and I found myself in situations where, a single mom needed help, and her need was substantial, and my gift card that I gave just seemed totally inadequate, to really help, to really help and make a difference in her life, or in the moms that I was encountering. And that really led to a lot of prayer, and a lot of soul searching, and me asking God, what role do you want me to play in this? How can I help? Because I felt a responsibility to stand in the gap, and to help. And so, out of a lot of prayer, came Qara. And Qara is the Qara Mission is a burden that invests. We want to invest tangibly, in single moms, and invest in single parent families. And then just one story I have to share, with you two, is just, I did a lot of praying before we even started Qara. And one moment I was praying, I remember I was in my driveway and I was praying, and I was praying, and in prayer I started hearing all these voices speaking at once, like, it sounded like a crowd of chorus of voices, and they were all, just at once. And I was like, what is that? I was asking God, like, what is that? And he said, that's the prayers of my daughters asking for help.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
I
I got
just got
chills.
in that
chills.
I
moment,
know.
in that moment, I was like, I can't say no to this. And my background is in financial services. I've been in financial services since I was 22 years old. I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but it's close to 20 years, in financial services, and that's an area where I felt like I could really help. And Qara has been a way for us to invest in single moms, come alongside them, and give them the support that they need to find stability, and to find hope, so they can move forward and steward their families.
That's so awesome.
Oh my gosh. I just
Yeah.
love everything you just said.
I know. So what are like some of the common things that maybe we take for granted? I know I've worked with single moms, and there's a lot of stuff that I just am like, oh my goodness, like they'll maybe get a tote the note, they'll just believe a car salesman about, this is a no down payment car you can get, and they don't really know, about the
Yeah.
interest rate, and then they kind of get upside down in it, and then it falls apart, and then
Yeah.
they're still paying payments on a car that's totally worth nothing, and they feel stuck. And I know you've probably seen that in some other things that single moms kind of commonly have misconceptions about.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I think overall financial literacy, is a major issue that I see with a lot of single parents, and the single moms. And they're I think for the most part, and again, you know this probably better than I do, is that most single moms, that they're just trying to get by.
Yeah, they're in
They're trying to
survival.
survive. Yeah, their survival, not just for them, but for their kids as well. And so they become a prime target for people who are unethical, and not scrupulous, or credit card companies who don't take the time to get to know them and their situation. So they give them a high interest credit card or a high interest loan. And so overall financial literacy is a problem, not just the situation that you pointed out with a car, but any major purchase, buying a house, paying rent. We just helped a mom who was kicked out of her house by a family member that she lived with, because she was a couple of days late with the rent. So there are all types of situations like that where we feel where just simple financial literacy, and financial know-how can make a huge difference in giving a mom a plan, to be financially sound, and she could feel more confident, in the decisions that she makes, because she's following that plan. It can bring a lot of stability, for the family. The poverty rate among single parent households right now is 36%. 36% of all single families are living in poverty. And that's
Yeah,
just not
and what is
acceptable.
the poverty line? Do you know? It seems like I remembered it was something around 18,000 a year, or I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah, it's around there. I'd have to check it. It changes every year, but it's low.
Wow.
It's in that, under 20,000, I believe.
Yeah, and it's like, how can anyone survive off of that?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I have 3 kids, and there's just no way
Yeah.
we could
Wow.
survive off of that. So, yeah, so that's a big part of what we do is financial counseling, and budget help, and just providing, tips and tricks to help, single parents find stability so that they can have a sound financial plan for them and for their family.
Yeah, and I love how you assign mentors, if they have business
Yeah.
ideas, and to try to help them take the dream and put some action behind it.
Yeah. So we believe in investing tangibly, in single parent homes, and so that takes the shape of a couple different forms. A lot of times we will provide mentorship. We've helped 2 moms start businesses this year. We have a couple others, who are working through that whole process and wanting to start a business. They lost their job because of COVID, and so they're trying to make ends meet. And so we've helped them, develop a business plan or modify a business plan, and launch a business. We even helped a son of a single parent start a successful business this year, which is really cool.
Wow.
And so we believe in investing tangibly. That relationship, that vital, nourishing mentorship relationship, is really, really important. It doesn't always take the shape of finances either. I mean, it could be counseling, it could be simple motherhood, it could be a business idea or a business venture. But we believe that mentorship and that support is really, really important. And we also provide financial grants, and we will invest in a single mom as well. So whether it's a high impact relief grant, what we call a care grant, which is, hey, I'm about to be kicked out of my apartment, I need some help. We've helped in that area. Or I want to start a business, but I don't have any resources to do so. And as long as they've passed our internal checkpoints of we can see that they're actually making an effort to make this business a success. We'll come alongside and we'll invest on a small scale, but we'll invest in their business. And so that way we're investing tangibly. We're not just talking about it, we're being about it, and investing in them and in their family.
What if one box could save 2 lives? We've created Love Boxes as an invitational gift for single and pregnant women to welcome them in to be a part of a local Embrace Grace support group, helping them to be brave in their choice for life. We ship Love Boxes for free to pregnancy centers all over the nation so that when they have a single and pregnant client walk in their doors, a Love Box can be placed in their hands right then and there. These Love Boxes not only encourage a decision for life, but also invite single and pregnant women to join an Embrace Grace support group at a local church, inviting them to be a part of a spiritual family, that they will walk this season with them, and if they'll allow it, their entire lives. To learn more about our Love Box initiative, visit www.embracegrace.com. Wow. I love that you take all of this knowledge that you have about finances and business, and you really want to equip these women and these moms to be successful. A few months ago, you did a Zoom class about credit for some of our Embrace Grace leaders and moms, and me and Maddie, another team member, were here for it. And I learned so much from that session. I kind of let my husband take the reins on the finances, and so I'm blissfully ignorant to a lot of things, I feel like. But I learned so much, and I felt so empowered with that knowledge to be able to share that with moms, because in Embrace Grace, we have a lot of moms that come with us with hard financial needs, and we, of course, want to encourage them to pray and have faith that God's going to meet them at that need. But a lot of times we are the answer to that prayer, right? And so is it knowledge? Is it getting them connected with some kind of help grant? Is it job, resources, financial information? So I felt empowered by that. And I felt
you
like
said
it's
you
so
like
valuable.
you went and started an Acorn account after you heard Peter talk about it.
I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I check it like every day.
Yeah, it's something as simple as that of learning how to save and why you're saving. I was never taught it in high school. It's something that I learned by default. How do I save, and why am I saving? We teach people to treat their future like a bill that needs to be paid. So treat your future like a bill. Take care of that 5-year-older you, whoever you want that person to be. take care of that person. Look out for them. They're going to thank you one day. And so we teach people to do that. And actually, one thing that we're working on right now, one of our goals for 2021 is it's already underway, is we're developing an online curriculum on finances and financial stewardship, very practical, very intentional about helping single moms and really anybody who needs financial help, put their best foot forward when it comes to finance.
That's so awesome. I can't wait for that to happen. And I love that it's not, I mean, you are helping with handouts, like when they're in a situation where, something happens unexpectedly. It's so tight for a single mom if your tires are bald and you need new tires, all of a sudden something has to give in your situation. So, whether it's your electricity or your food, because you only have a certain amount. And so you do have ways that you help in that way. But I love that a lot of what you guys do is more about a hand up and how can we help empower you.
There's so much dignity in it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I know, there's one single mom that we she hangs out with us all the time. We kind of adopted her, and she comes for holidays and hangs out with us, and I take care of her kids sometimes. And she works full time for a school district and has a great job, working for the school. But then she just doesn't quite make enough to make ends meet. So she only has one son, and her car's paid for. But just the apartment and all of the other expenses she needs to Grubhub, just another hour to 2 a day. She does Grubhub because her son can ride along with her. And because she's like, if I could just get an extra $30 to $40 a day, I'm doing pretty good. And that's so hard. And her place is tiny. She has a 1-bedroom. Now that she did say that here at the end of this, I guess in May, she'll be able to get a raise because her son will be out of daycare. And all of a sudden, she's going to have a little bit more money to work with because daycare is so expensive, and he'll be in kindergarten. And so she's like, I feel like I'm getting a raise. And she's kind of she's looking at a 2-bedroom, which is definitely needed. I mean, her apartment is so tiny, and he's still sleeping in a little toddler bed. And he's really outgrowing it because you wouldn't be able to fit another bed in that little 1-bedroom apartment. And he's coming up on 5 years old, and it's time for him to be in a big bed. It's just hard. It is really, really hard to be a single mom. And so I love how you inspire these single moms to dream, and then kind of give them the practical business advice of how to take steps towards that is so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can take that story and you can multiply it times 10,000.
Right.
There's thousands of single moms out there. 17.4 million children in the U.S. are being raised without a father. So there's thousands and thousands of single moms who are just trying to get by and make it. And we want to empower them. And I love the expression "help her be brave." I love that. Qara means. Qara is a Hebrew word, and it means to proclaim true identity. And it means that it's a Hebrew word found in Isaiah 61 to proclaim liberty, or Qara, liberty, over the captives. It means to proclaim true identity, what God says about them, not what their circumstances says, not what their failures say, not what their past says, not what their sins say, but what God says about them. And the righteous are as bold as a lion. And when God speaks and you hear his voice or when someone's encouraging you, you're going to find that courage to be brave and take steps of faith and not feel like you have to survive, but you have the keys and the tools that you need to actually thrive. And we can't wait for a father to get his act together. We hope he does, but in the meantime, we can help that mom be brave by empowering her. I love that word, empowering her. And giving her the tools and the knowledge and the keys that she needs to take the steps and find that success that we believe that God wants to give her.
That's so good. Well, Peter, you are totally amazing. And I just love this. And I feel like there could be someone out there that is passionate. Also, maybe they're a financial advisor or planner, and maybe they might want to help single moms at their church, or I think it's amazing that this year you're going to have this curriculum that people will be able to access. So how can people get connected to getting on your email list or your social media to know when all of that comes out?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So definitely you can visit our website, Qara Mission. Qara is, everyone wants to spell it C-A-R-A. It's Q-A-R-A with no U after the Q. It's just Q-A-R-A, qaramission.org. And you can reach out to us there on our email list, or fill out the contact us form, and that will go directly to one of our staff people who'll be able to reach out to you. So please reach out to us there. You could also reach out to us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, a little bit on Twitter, but Instagram is probably the best way to reach out to us there. And one of us will certainly get out to you. We're always looking for mentors. We're looking for qualified mentors from all walks of life, not just financial planners, but also like attorneys. People who are cosmetologists, people who are insurance agents, people who have some level of expertise that a single mom can benefit from. We're always looking to network and connect with people like that who can lend their expertise to help some of these moms get ahead.
Yeah. And if people want to donate, I mean, this is he's like on the front lines. And a lot of times it's not like he's going to hear a need and Peter's going to have to go raise money for it. Like, he needs funds ready and available at a moment's notice, because these girls, usually by the time they get to this level of reaching out to support, they're like in an emergency crisis situation that they need support. So definitely, if you feel led to give to Peter's ministry, Qara, say the website one more time.
qaramission.org.
Yes. Reach out, get connected, donate.
I know you have awesome swag to purchase.
Yeah, you do
your
have
Instagram and
stuff.
website, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Part of the way we fund the ministry is through swag. So we're developed. I don't consider myself the most fashion forward person, but the clothes are pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
you do pretty good.
Yeah, I do all right.
All right. Thanks, Peter, so much for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
That was so good. I think it's funny how Peter says that he's not great with style, because he's literally one of the best dressed men I've ever met.
I know, right? He's going to be shy on that one, but that's not true. But I'm just so excited. It's such a unique way of how he's helping women and helping women really be brave in their life decision. If their finances are more in order as much as can be possible, or if they're having steps toward their dream or even able to dream again. We always say you can have your baby and your dreams too. Yes, it might be hard. Yes, it's going to take some effort. And he's like really walking alongside them and helping them with that.
Yes. I love how like he sees it as an investment, and not just in financial ways, how to invest in others to help them be brave, but investing in them personally, and their dreams and their hopes, and the knowledge. Like, knowledge is power, and we can break bad cycles and bad habits with just a little bit of information.
Right. It's so good. So definitely, you guys check out Qara, and then maybe that might spark more ideas for you guys. And maybe you want to do your own thing or help some single moms. If your church already has an Embrace Grace group, then check to see. Maybe you can pop in for an Embrace Life class, which is for young single moms that a lot of churches have, and teach a class on finances. And in fact, we do have one class that's about financial stewardship. So there might be girls that want to learn more and dig in more. And so that's a great way to serve or teach a financial stewardship class at your local pregnancy center. Just put the word out that you want to help, and you'll be surprised at how many moms will say, I would love to do that. And so I'm thankful for Peter for leading the way and showing us how to do that. If you are interested in starting an Embrace Grace group at your church, go to embracegrace.com, check us out. Also, tell all your friends about Help Her Be Brave podcast show. And don't forget the Help Her Be Brave book that just released, and you can get it on Amazon or embracegrace.com. It's hundreds of ways to get involved in the movement, and you can get more and more ideas. But tell your friends about this podcast, subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and we hope to see you next week.